I'm Casey Joyce.
I'm Sherry Joyce.
And we own and operate Gospel Farms.
We have 22 acres that we are blessed with. And we convert this farmhouse so we can live there, and we try to decide what to do with the land that would be what God would want. And he comes up with this idea of there's nothing to do in town. That's the young people's complaint about this small town that we live in. And so he comes up with the idea, well, let's use the cornfield, what used to be a cornfield, and make a corn maze, which I've never even been in my life. And I don't think you'd ever been to a corn maze.
Never once.
Either. We'd already had this vision of gospel farms. If we're in a farm town, use that to share the gospel somehow. And if they're here and they realize that's the name, they should expect it a little bit and not be scared that we're going to say something about the gospel to them. And that was the first year, was mostly just a corn maze.
Then our hope is, instead of going to like the local baseball game where parents are watching their kids, they're engaged doing something. I don't want to interrupt their life there, but if we bring them to a place that has gospel on the sign, Gospel Farms, the parents are normally sitting around watching their kids play, or they're playing with their kids, but there's more opportunities to simply sit down and hear their story and to hear their heart, hear what they're going through, show them the love of Jesus, and then also apply God's word to their life. So we started with a corn maze and a tire pyramid and hay bale hill, and then we realized year 2 we could add to that. So we added the zip line and a bounce house and our pedal cart track.
Paintball shooting range.
The paintball shooting range.
Ninja Warrior kind of course thing that we can build, so we just do that.
And the rock climbing wall.
Oh yeah, we added that.
Yeah, and then this year we've added 18 holes of mini golf. Which the most fun I've seen is 2 senior adult couples playing the slowest game of mini golf I've ever watched.
Oh, yeah.
But like they laughed and giggled the whole way through.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was a lot of fun
to
watch that.
My favorite thing is what we give out as prizes. It's changed after we've learned what do people want to receive as a prize, and so now we add candy. But it's a little bag and it has an explanation of the gospel, and currently in the corn maze there are stations and they rub these symbols and they don't even know why they're copying down these symbols that they find. So when they come up, we hand them this, we say, well, this is what you were looking at. It's the name of Christ in Greek. And so they didn't know that, but I'll say this explains it so that they'll read it. And there's a bracelet that's colored, so it has the gospel and verses referenced on it.
Then we get to ask them if they have any spiritual beliefs, which then opens up the door for conversations. And we ask them if there's anything we can pray for them for.
And they're not going to go to a church, a local church. It's too small a town with too many families that they don't like that go to that church, and that's the only thing they know about that church is so-and-so goes there. And that'll keep them from going. They will not go into that building, and it's just a building. They don't even know if that person even goes there anymore. They don't care to find that out, but they'll come here and they'll play mini golf, or they'll let their kid bounce in the bounce house.
When we teamed up with Time to Revive, I had done my own style of evangelism that was just kind of a herky-jerky version of that, but to have a full-on method for being able to approach somebody and just simply ask if there's something that I can pray for them for, and then give them that wristband as a reminder, and then be able to go through the Bible with them. We use those tools here because it's just such a good method for sharing the gospel, and it's easy. And even people that have no spiritual background that we've gotten to give them a Bible, they think the Bibles are super cool and super easy because they can run through the numbers, they can run through the colors, and so we've integrated that right into what we do here at Gospel Farms. This has been trying.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work and a lot of sweat and some blood. It's hard, but it's worth it. When you get to pray with your porta potty guy who confesses that 2 nights prior he thought about committing suicide, and you get to step into that space just because you have a place for him to bring a porta potty, and you get to have a conversation with him and pray with him. It makes it worth it. After all of this, we have planted lots of gospel seeds, but we have not had anybody come over.
Not that they've told us.
Not that they've told us. So yeah, you want to see growth, yeah, you want to see fruit from your endeavors, but at the end of the day, I did my part. I was faithful to my King to do what he asked me to do, and the rest is up to him.